Hi, my name is Sarah, and 2 years ago today, I had a lumpectomy in my left breast. I had a DCIS that was identified through a mammogram, and I had surgery in on June 16th, 2023. And as I reflect back on that 2 years ago, and I've been cancer-free ever since, there were several things I wish I had asked my surgeon prior to the lumpectomy itself. And I couldn't find a lot of information about lumpectomies, a lot about mastectomies, but not as much about lumpectomies online. So I thought I'd record this video and put it out here to allow for questions I wish I had asked my surgeon prior to my lumpectomy. And the first one is to clearly ask him why he recommended a lumpectomy versus a mastectomy. I still think I didn't ask this question. I think given a DCIS diagnosis, it would be a little unusual perhaps to have a full mastectomy, but I never really asked his true opinion on that, and I wish I had. Kind of related to that, I wish I had asked sooner for genetic testing, and that probably goes along with the DCIS lumpectomy versus mastectomy question. I was 49 when I was diagnosed, which is anything under 50 is considered fairly early breast cancer from an age perspective. And I did eventually ask for genetic testing, but I did it kind of late in the game. As a matter of fact, I probably would have had my surgery maybe a week earlier had I requested it earlier. It turned out I did not have any genetic markers for breast cancer, but if I had in my mind decided that I probably would switch my surgery to mastectomy if I had any genetic marker for breast cancer. So I wish I had asked for that sooner in the process. Other things I wish I had asked were very related to the surgery. So one would be, and I can't believe I didn't ask this, was where will my scar be? My scar happens to be on the outside of my breast, so my like on a V-neck or something like that, there is no scar because it's on the outside. But I never asked. So I probably just woke up and was like, oh, there it is. And, I maybe would have prepared myself differently had I known. The other question to ask is, will you remove my nipple? I hadn't thought about that, but it definitely is a possibility depending on where your mass is located, that they might have to remove your nipple or even part of it. So I wish I had asked that because I didn't, and that would have been a big surprise. I did end up asking, but I wish I had asked earlier, if there would be any drains used in my surgery. Very unusual for a pure lumpectomy. I was not having any lymph nodes removed. I think it's a little more common with that, but it is possible. So I wish I had asked. I did ask, I think, at my very last pre-op meeting if there would be drains, because I had, seen people recovering with drains online, and the answer was no. And again, somewhat unusual, but it is a possibility. And then really the last thing I wish I had asked was when they go and find, the lump and the lumpectomy, they've usually are refinding a chip that was left during the biopsy. So when you have a biopsy, obviously there is tissue removed, and they leave a little apparently metallic of some sort chip in your breast. You can't feel it. It's very small, but shows up on x-rays. So I did not understand how that would be refound, and there are several different ways that a hospital can do it. It's usually kind of a procedure before your procedure, and I wasn't really prepared for it, and I ended up fainting while they were refining it to place a wire that would guide my outside to guide my surgeon into where the chip was located. I think there are other ways. I think now there's more like, I'm going to call them a metal detector. That's not what it is. I am not a medical professional by any means, but I think there are other ways beyond the wire that they can also do. So really wish I'd asked about that. That was kind of an embarrassing start to my day when I fainted when they were trying to find it again. So if I'd asked ahead, I probably would have been like mentally prepared a little bit. So those are the things I wish I had asked. What I thought I'd do is maybe do a few of these about my recovery, both immediately, and then I did have radiation and what that was like, and then what my recovery's been like in the 2 years since. So I'm really doing this because I hope it's helpful to folks. So please let me know. And if you have any questions, comment, and I will absolutely answer them to the best I can. Again, not a medical professional, but a cancer survivor. So thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.